Hare Krishna, Chit Prabhuji. Whenever you're ready, you can start, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraet Nashtaprayeshu Avadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas Adi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 44, Slokas 1 through 17. The title is The Killing of Kamsa. Sukadev Goswami said, thus addressed, Lord Krishna made up his mind to accept the challenge. He paired off with Charuna and Lord Balram with Mustika. Text 2. Seizing each other's hands and locking legs with each other, the opponents struggled powerfully, eager for victory. Text 3. They each struck fists against fists, knees against knees, head against head, and chest against chest. Text 4. Each fighter contended with his opponent by dragging him about in circles, shoving and crushing him, throwing him down, and running before and behind him. Text 5. Forcefully lifting and carrying each other, pushing each other away and holding each other down, the fighters hurt even their own bodies in their great eagerness for victory. Text 6. My dear king, all the women present, considering the match an unfair fight between the strong and the weak, felt extreme anxiety. Due to compassion, they assembled in groups around the arena and spoke to one another as follows. The woman said, alas, what a great irreligious act the members of this royal assembly are committing. As the king watches this fight between the strong and the weak, they also want to see. Text 8. What comparison can there be between these two professional wrestlers with limbs as strong as lightning bolts and bodies resembling mighty mountains, and these two young, immature boys with exceedingly tender limbs? Text 9. Religious principles have certainly been violated in this assembly. One should not remain for even a moment in a place where irreligion is flourishing. Text 10. A wise person should not enter an assembly if he knows the participants there are committing an act of impropriety, and if, having entered such an assembly, he fails to speak the truth, speaks falsely, or pleads ignorance, he will certainly incur sin. Text 12. Don't you see the face of Lord Balaram with his eyes coppered from his anger toward Mustika and its beauty enhanced by his laughter and his absorption in the fight? Text 13. How pious are the tracts of land in Braja, for there the primeval personality of Godhead, disguising himself with human traits, wanders about in enacting his many pastimes. Adorned with the wonderfully variegated forest garlands, he whose feet are worshipped by Lord Shiva and Goddess Rama, vibrates his flute as he tends the cows in the company of Balaram. Text 14. What austerities must the gopis have performed? With their eyes they always drink the nectar of Lord Krishna's form, which is the essence of loveliness and is not to be equaled or surpassed. that loveliness is the only abode of beauty, fame, and opulence. It is self-perfect, ever fresh, and extremely rare. Text 15. The ladies of Braja are the most fortunate of women because, with their minds fully attached to Krishna and their throats always choked up with tears, they constantly sing about him, while milking the cows, winning grain, churning butter, gathering cow dung for fuel, riding on swings, taking care of their crying babies, sprinkling the ground with water, cleaning their houses, and so on. By their exalted Krishna consciousness, they automatically acquire all desirable things. Text 16. When the gopis hear Krishna playing his flute as he leaves Braja in the morning with his cows or returns with them at sunset, the young girls quickly come out of their house to see him. They must have performed many pious activities to be able to see him as he walks on the road, his smiling face mercifully glancing upon them. Text 17. Sukadeva Goswami continued, as the woman spoke thus, O hero of the Bharatas, Lord Krishna, the master of all mystic power, made up his mind to kill his opponent. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Chit Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Shamadulari Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes through Prabhupada. Whenever you're ready, you can start, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving me the opportunity. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you, Prabhu, for reading the shlokas. I'll start with prayers. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate kirim yatkripaha tamaham vande paramananda madhavam namam vishnu padaya krishna prishtaya bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Dishatarine. Okay, so today this is the last chapter of this canto, which ends with the killing of Kamsa. So this chapter is the like high level. There are two sections. In the first section, which is we covered today till it is till shloka 16. So this section talks about how the Mathura ladies were talking about the wrestling match. And the second section, which is from shloka 17 to 51, it talks about the fall of Kamsa and the wrestlers who were in his team, and also Kamsa's brothers. So let's go into the first section of this chapter, which is in the first shloka. Mainly here, it's like the arena of Kamsa's Mala Yuddha, where they are doing the wrestling. So Krishna and Balrama are challenged for the fight. So after they both have accepted, first Krishna is paired with Chanura and Balarama with Mushtika. So they are the two powerful wrestlers from Kamsa's team. And they both as part of the wrestling, they both had first locked their hands and then legs with each other. And they also, because in the wrestling, they struggle with force and power. So because they are both the parties are trying to get victory. And then they, after the hands and legs, locking the legs, they use the fists, which they strike against each other's fists, and then the knees, they strike with the knees, and head and the chest. So this is how the art is carried on. And in the shloka 3, there is a word that is Aratni, which means also refers to as elbow. So along with the fist, they also use the elbows, which they use to attack, strike the opponent. So, and this technique is even also used even in the current times as part of the martial arts of wrestling. So even though it's like it looks like the opponents are very physically they are very bigger in personality and they are very strong, and whereas Krishna and Balarama, they are teenager boys and they are very sleek and small compared to the wrestlers, but they are with our vision, we should not see just with our eyes, because Krishna and Balarama, they are very expert even in all the arts. Like Srila Vyasadeva, he refers to Krishna as Akila Kala Adi Guru in chapter 10, 16th, 10th canto only, 16th chapter 26, as Akila Kala Adi Guru means Kala, all kinds of arts. He is the originating guru. So we have seen even in dances, and whether he has danced even on Kalia, which is like a ferocious serpent, even with his tender feet, he dances there. For us to dance, even when if like everything is perfect, it's difficult. Whereas Krishna, even on like being a 7-year-old boy, he was able to dance on like a serpent which is like oozing out poison. And whereas even like decorating the faces of the gopis with nice paints like gopi dots, we see all the deities where they get painted with different gopi dots. This is also was like what Krishna used to do for the gopis. So like in any aspect of arts, Krishna is the like expert in it. So so we, even though we are listening that till here, like we should not get worried for him. And moving on to shloka 4, here the fighter is actually when they are locking the other opponent, they are dragging them in circles and also trying to shove them and crush them to the ground. And by in this process they are throwing them, running behind each other, trying to hurt the opponent. And in shloka 5 they are saying that in addition they are lifting, like forcefully lifting each other and pushing them and also trying to hold the other person down on the floor to hurt them. And even the like in this process they're trying to hurt the bodies of each other. This is also again one more point, that even though it looks like the opponents Mushtika and Chanura, they are hurting the tender bodies of Krishna and Balarama, for our mundane eyes we look like, it will look like, oh, they are hurting, but in reality it is not for Krishna and Balarama. So Srila Jiva Goswami explains that they did not get hurt, even though for our vision it looks like that. So the similar episode or like Leela we see, which was being glorified by Bhishma in Bhishma Stuti during the Kurukshetra war. Krishna, out of his affection for his cousin Arjuna, he accepts the role of charioteer. So in the Kurukshetra war or any war, when you see, like even though they are as a being as a charioteer, there is so much of arrows that are being shot by the opposite camp, they even hit the charioteer. So Krishna, being Arjuna's charioteer, he also gets hit by these different arrows. So Bhishma is glorifying like this in shloka 34 of Bhishma Stuti. He's saying, Yuditura garajo vidumra vishvak kachalulita shramavaryalankritashe mama nishita sharair vidityamana Tvachi vilasat kavachestu Krishna Atma. So when he is being as a charioteer, there are so many horses and people are like on the ground. Because of that, the dust from the ground is all going up in the air, and it's all fallen on the hair of Krishna. and the arrows which are hitting him on his body, they are making wounds on his body, and there is blood is coming out. So in one of the commentaries, it said that even though it looks like Krishna's body is there is blood coming out of him, it's just for the Leela. But because his, even though his coming here on the earth for doing the Leela, his body is still transcendental. So all these external symptoms that we are seeing, it's only for our eyes, because to the pleasure of our eyes, because for us, we will not be able to connect only at this level. So even similarly in this chapter here, when we are seeing that Krishna and Balarama are being hurt by the wrestlers, it's only for as part of the Leela. And next in Shloka 6, this is after seeing this fight, the women of Mathura they are feeling compassionate, and they are feeling concerned for the Krishna and Balarama. And what and here the next slokas, it's being explained on how they are feeling about about this whole episode. So they are speaking that the women who are present at the arena, they are saying, "Oh dear king, considering this match which is so unfair, because that is happening between strong and weak. And we feel extremely anxiety. They are feeling uneasy about this whole thing. And they assembled in groups, and they're speaking to each other." So they continued saying that this is a great irreligious act, because it's an unfair fight, and the members of the assembly who are watching all this unfair fight is also they are also committing sin, because when somebody is watching something like unfair, in this case which is the fight between strong and weak, so even they are incurring sin. So then Srila Prabhupada in the purport is explaining that when there is something unfair is happening, like anyone being, including the respectable members of the assembly, also should not watch it or desire to see it, or they even should speak for it, even though their feelings are neutral here. So whatever is the whether they are feeling neutral about it or supporting it, all these are considered as sinful. Because here it is not just unfair, it is even referred to as injustice. So keeping even quiet, like something like this is happening, if they are quiet as well, that is also considered as incurring sin. But in the shloka, it's in the shloka 10, the word here is used as abruvan vibruvan agno. Means if somebody is failing to speak the truth, or even they say that, "Oh, I'm ignorant about this." So all these cases, it's still considered as sinful. Yeah, and then next, moving on to shloka 8, and the women are saying that the limbs of the wrestlers are strong and are like lightning bolts, and their bodies are resembling like mountains. Whereas in comparison to Krishna and Balarama, they are very young, and their body is still immature, and because it's so tender. And in shloka 9, they are saying that the religious principles have been violated because of this unfair match, and anyone who is in that situation should either speak for it or exit from that scene. And also a wise person should who should not even enter such assembly. So this is very important for somebody even in part of the assembly. So this is what the women have been discussing. And then in Shloka 11, the Krishna's face is described as a lotus, and because of the fight, there is so much of sweat on his through perspiration that is coming on his face and body, and this sweat is being described by them as the like a drop on the lotus flower. And then next in Shloka 12, Lord Balarama, here the fight between Balarama and the wrestler Mushtika is being described. Even Balarama's face and eyes, even though they are like so filled with anger towards Mushtika because he is fighting, even then his still face is looking beautiful, and that is also and his mood, which is like in anger and anger towards the wrestler, the opposite Mushtika, still that's being described as so beautiful, because for the even whether it is the women of Vrindavan or women of Dwaraka, however mood they see Krishna or Balarama, they are always attracted to him. And even in like one of the song by Adi Shankaracharya, which is Jagannath Ashtakam, which is very dear to us as devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because when Lord Chaitanya, when he stayed in Jagannath Puri, he used to recite this song every day in the temple. And in this song, Adi Shankaracharya also describes similarly just how we have been reading in this section, that Lord Krishna, he is the one who is holding a flute and also wears the peacock on his head. He wears the silken cloth which is of yellow, and he is always doing his pastimes in Vrindavan. So here he sings like in the first two verses of the song. First verse he explains like how the different demigods are worshipping him, and in the second verse, just like how the Dwaraka women are attracted and glorifying the beautiful face of the Lord. So here Adi Shankaracharya is saying, Bhuje savyevenum shira shiki picham katitate dukulam netrante saha charakataksham vidadate sada Srimad Vrindavana vasati lila parichayo Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatu Me. So he's saying that like whether he in Vrindavan or in Dwarka, Lord Krishna is always performing different leelas for the satisfaction of his devotees. So this same like here how they are fighting with Chanura and Mushtika, this is all for the pleasure of the devotees. And even in there is one famous song in Telugu, which was written by one of the poets. It's called Swagatam Krishna. It's very much well known in South India. When you're watching any Bharatanatyam also, they use this song where they describe how Krishna and Balarama, they fight with Chanura and Mushtika in this Swagatam Krishna. So like that's also nice in depiction of these pastimes that is being used in Bharatanatyam as well. And in Shloka 13, so here his pious, like in the pious lands of Vraja, there are like Krishna's Krishna, who is the Lord Supreme Personality of Godhead, he does come with his human traits and wanders about in the forests of Vrindavan and enacting his pastimes. So here he just displays the human traits. And as part of that, he is wonderfully wearing the forest garlands, and his feet are worshipped by Lord Shiva and Rama, his consort. And how he's doing is, along with his flute and his vibrating like making beautiful sound music with his flutes and attracting the cows as well. So in the Jagannath Ashtakam, the shloka 1 also Adi Shankaracharya is describing this similarly. So he's saying, कदाचित् कालिन्दी तट विपिना संगीत करावो मुदा वीरि नारी वदन कमला स्वदा मधुपा रमा शंभु ब्रह्मामार पति गणेशार्जित पादो जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी bhavatu me. So here he's describing that kadachit kalindi tata. Tata means the shores of Kalindi. Kalindi is also another name for Yamuna. So on the shores of banks of Yamuna Nadi, Sangeeta Karavo, he is making music with his Venu. And Mudhabi Nari Vadana, between all these Nari, which is the gopis. And how is he doing? Like Madhupa, like honey, he's attracting all the cows and gopis of Vrindavan. And this Krishna is being worshipped by who? Rama, Shambhu, Brahma, Amarpati, means Indra, and Ganesha. So they are all worshipping his pado, so his feet. So that Krishna, that Jagannath, I want to always my eyes, just like how here gopis of Vrindavan and women of Dwaraka, they are always mesmerized. Their vision is always mesmerized by Krishna's seeing him. So similarly, here Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami. So my Nayan, wherever I am seeing, I just want to see you. So that's how our mood also, and now coming up with this at Baltimore, where like all we have the festivities of different festivities of Lord Jagannath and Rath Yatra. So our vision also, we should have the similar wish. So next in shlokas 14 and 15, so the gopis are saying that they are like drinking the nectar of seeing Lord Krishna's form and his arts, like where he is fighting with the Mushtika and Chanura. And all the gopis of Vrindavan also, whatever they are doing, whether they are churning butter or gathering cow's dung, from morning till evening, whatever chores they are doing, they are just thinking and meditating on the Krishna's form. And all they want is only to acquire Krishna. And from morning till sunset, till Krishna is like outside Vraja, when he is tending the cows, they are just immersed in this thoughts of Krishna. Yeah, and so that's how this section ends. And then the next section from moving on, where we see how Krishna fights with challenges Kamsa and all his brothers. So yeah. So I'd like to stop here. Thank you everyone for attending and also giving me the opportunity to share this nectar with you all.
So well said. So far, I got the sense the way you said it. So wonderful. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Shyamdullar Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.